China says will respond if US escalates trade tension. Beijing. Reuters. China will respond firmly if the United States insists on escalating trade tensions, the Foreign Ministry said on Tuesday after US President Donald Trump said further tariffs were ready to kick in if no deal was reached at June's G20 summit. Trump has repeatedly said he is getting ready to meet Chinese President Xi Jinping at the Osaka summit at the end of June, but China has not confirmed it. Trump said last week he would decide after the meeting of the leaders of the world's largest economies whether to carry out a threat to impose tariffs on at least $300 billion in Chinese goods. On Monday, Trump said he was ready to impose another round of punitive tariffs on Chinese imports if he cannot make progress in trade talks with Xi in Osaka. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Geng Shuang again would not be drawn on confirming a Xi-Trump meeting at G20, saying information would be released once it was available to the ministry. China. If tensions between Washington and Beijing rose sharply in May after the Trump administration accused China of having reneged on promises to make structural economic changes during months of trade talks. The United States is seeking sweeping changes, including an end to forced technology transfers and theft of U.S. trade secrets. It also wants, on May 10, Trump raised tariffs on $200 billion of Chinese goods up to 25% and took steps to levy duties on an additional $300 billion in Chinese imports. Beijing retaliate. The U.S. government has also angered China by putting Huawei Technologies Co. Limited on a blacklist that effectively bans U.S. companies from doing business with the Chinese firm, the world's biggest telecoms equipment maker. Investors worry China will retaliate by putting U.S. companies on a blacklist or banning exports to the United States of rare earth metals, which are used in products such as memory chips, rechargeable batteries and cell phones. Reporting by Michael Martina. Writing by Ben Blank.
Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.